Hey, it's Mark from DerbyWars, and we're here with the Final Four of the $25,000 head-to-head championship, and one of our Final Four players, Mark McGuire, or otherwise known as McGuire. Mark, thanks for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here, guys.
Well, congratulations on making it to the Final Four. Four wins in a row, always a strong accomplishment, and got to be excited about your chances. $10,000 prize just looms 2 wins away.
Yeah, these next 2 games are the games that we play this contest for. Like I said, most of this money is end loaded at the end, so they'll make it extremely exciting. It's been exciting so far. I've really enjoyed the journey, and like I've mentioned to you, I tell you, it's been something of a grind. Every weekend they have to put in those 5 and 6 hours just for a head-to-head game. But hopefully it'll be worth it. Well, it has been so far. No matter which way, it's like I said, it's always a lot of fun, and always looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were saying, in the beginning, once you made the 64, the first couple rounds, you kind of get the feeling that it doesn't necessarily count. But now, once you get to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, Final Four here, every game really counts, and you've got a lot riding on it.
Exactly. I mean, like I was saying, the first couple games, I'm playing in the big contest. I'm probably at NHC playing in something. I've gotten something else in a pick and pray. Billion things going on, and you got the DerbyWars head-to-head. Well, we'll throw a couple picks, scatter them all over, and then drop in on it every now and then to see how we're doing. But this last weekend, a totally different approach to the game as I decided to play no other contest, or if I did, they were just backup picks that I was paying no attention to those. And everything was just on the DerbyWars games because they're finally worth that added money that you make it all worthwhile. So,
yeah, a lot of equity there. So you've got $2,500 so far, and cash. You got get it up to $5,000 if you can win this next game, and obviously $10,000 if you can win the next 2. So not too bad. And it sounds easy, but I guess going 4-0, 4 wins in a row isn't as easy as it sounds.
No, anything can happen. You've seen a lot of players that had multiple entries and all go down in the same day. So, in a lot of other sports on a 64 bracket, if you're playing softball or something, you have these double elimination tournaments. So one doesn't blow you out, you can come riding through the losers bracket. But I tell you what, if you didn't like one card, and you played an opponent that did even halfway decent, well, guess what? You're on the sidelines looking in. So
yeah, and we had a great field to begin with because, and I've got to credit you for a great idea that we took the March contest that we did, which was a 64-person bracket, and when we got hooked up at I think it was out at the Orleans, you were like, hey, Mark, why don't you take qualifiers and qualify into the 64? And so kind of, rolled with your idea there of going from 64 to 16 to create, each quarter of the bracket. And that turned out to be a great idea. So thanks, Mark. And glad it's worked out for you as well.
Yeah, like I say, I really appreciate it. I mean, I think, it adds to it was able to build the money pot, which once again, I think is the key component there because you don't want to put that much work in it. And, what'd you get? I got $1,000 on the Final Four, So, although then again, I had Brent Sumja, who didn't qualify the first time he tried, and then he was yelling at me, hey, it was your stupid idea?
It's one of those things that sounds easier than it is, right? Finishing in the top 16 out of 64 is something just to get qualified, and did a great job getting the first, the 2 entries in.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Mark, all right, so you're not an everyday head-to-head player. Like I said, you've gone 4-0. Just to kind of run it down, so you beat the Chalk players 67-20. You beat Funky Monkey, a great player, 59-36. You beat Brush before Brain, Mike Alsace, great player, 41-31. And in your last win, you beat Glasgow Mike, 66-24. So definitely a good run. Some 3 out of 4 scores in the 60s, some of the best scores we've seen. But so how do you approach these head-to-heads, and is it different than the way you approach, let's say, a $20,000 game?
Well, when you say I'm not a head-to-head player, you would hit hit it right on the head on that one, because the only head-to-head games I've ever played are in your last year's March to March and this one.
There you go.
So those are my head-to-head experiences. So There could be a lot of different ways to approach it. I pretty much approach it pretty much the same way I approach any contest. I'm basically more of a long shot player, but I do realize that in a head-to-head contest that you're going to have to look at a lot more of the chalk in strategy situations, especially when you're playing a player that's pretty much all he's playing. And you got to watch out that you don't let him get too far in front of you, because I might have an 8-1 and I'm looking at the 5th or 6th race, but if he's chalked out 4 races on me, my 8-1, my 7-1 might not be good enough. Also, if I'm $16, $20 behind, he's going to be playing in that range as blocks on me. So I'll take a couple more chalks where I don't think there's a playable long shot, or that I strictly think that he might be playing just to get a couple more dollars in his bankroll.
Yeah, definitely a different strategy. And does it kind of can it be frustrating a little bit if you get behind and you're trying to figure out your opponent, kind of get under your skin a little bit? Or, I mean, how do you look at it?
I don't know. I think I'll probably play off the lead a lot easier than a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be on the lead. It's my favorite place to be. But once again, if you've played enough long shots in your life, you realize that you're only one horse out at all times. Mm-hmm. So, and if you've studied the card ahead of time, you probably have a couple plays that you're looking for. Now, granted, a lot of times they might not come in. Not only come in, they might just miss by a head. You get the second place, but you needed the full value out of the horse. So, yeah, you could see me muttering under my breath, yelling, "Chalk player, chalk player, God, darn chalk players!" And I got to give some kudos out to Funky Monkey, who pretty much dominated me in his game the entire way, as I couldn't quite find the horses that I wanted. Because that particular day, I think there were 2 bombs, and the rest was all chalk. And we'd come up on the same chalk every now and then, but he'd hit the 3 and 4s, not necessarily the chalks, but to keep that lead out of me in the entire way. And I come down to the last race, and I was down, I think, $15 or $20. And I knew he'd be covering all the 6 and 7-1 shots where my original pick lied. So it forces me into the 10 to 15 range. Mm-hmm. And I was pulling my hair out because I really didn't like the race. And all of a sudden, a horse that I didn't know that was even in the contest, I just looked fabulous on the track. I go, "Who's that? 14? Did I look at this horse?" And sure enough, I hadn't even looked at it because it was the 4th also, entry into the field. And then I looked at the sheets numbers on it, and it actually had the best sheets numbers of any horse in the field. So if it doesn't look like a monster on the track, I'd never even go back and look at the horse. Mm-hmm. So I've got to give props out to a good friend of mine, Brent Sumja, because he's probably the best sheets player I know, and playing sheets was not in my arsenal a year ago. So it's something I've been able to add because Brent has taught me that aspect of the game, and in that particular instance, it played a huge role.
Oh, that's great, and that's a great way to use visual handicapping as well, to just give you that extra look to look back at a horse that you might not ordinarily look at. And
exactly.
How often have we seen those also eligibles come in? They weren't part of our original handicapping, and all of a sudden, they're live. And a lot of times they can be 8-1, but because people didn't see them, right? You didn't necessarily handicap or prepare for them to be in the race.
Yes, correct. And like I said, I knew the 11 was in. That was an Osel, and I ended up on him. And the 11 and the 14 actually came out of the same race, so I was able to quickly go back to videos. I think I used all aspects in that last race, and I think the horse was 15 or 16-1 that came in and won it. So
I like it. So good handicapping, good visual handicapping, race replays, and contest strategy to not get blocked and get the right horse, and a little bit of luck too, right? The right time.
Well, that's a lot of luck. You could say, "Hey, I did all these things," but as you know, you need a lot of luck.
Yeah, well, Tony Calabrese, Funky Monkey's a great player, so nice job beating him, but that's nice to give him props. And then, all right, so now you've got to take on Ed Peters, Fantini 33. So you guys are both 4-0, collide here, and it should be a good one on Saturday. And Ed said, one of the things he's been doing is he's a little bit newer to contests, so he's looking forward to going out to Vegas and playing in NHC, and I said, well, Mark will be out there. You guys can meet, and then Saturday he'll decide who's going to be congratulating who.
Exactly. Well, he should enjoy it. It's a great time, as you know, to be out there at the NHC because, as I've said all my life, I've never met a better bunch of people that are involved in this contest game, players, people that run it. It's just a fabulous bunch of people, and of course, we all look forward to seeing each other every year. So,
yeah, it's a good time. It's great to play online, and then it's also great to go play, a contest, live contest, meet people, get to connect with friends, get to meet some new players and people that we've been playing with online. Mark, you've been a contest player for a fairly long time. What are the things that you like about contests that are maybe a little different than playing regularly through the windows that appeal to you?
Well, contest, I mean, the thing, even in regular horse racing, I'm not a big bettor. I'm a bet small, win big type of guy. So I'm not the guy that's going to be putting $5,000 on a horse to win or playing $1,200 pick fours. I'm playing on a limited budget, and contests allow you to do that. You can play for very little, and you can build that and win very big, as you well know. So with especially a site like yours where you've got all kinds of different price range for all different types of players. And, there was a time that I could only dream about playing at the Wynn in their $2,000 entry game. I mean, I just laugh. I go, who can afford that? And, of course, as I went up the ladder and played in smaller games and found success there and win a tournament that paid $2,000 and able to take that money and put it into that contest and, then have luck at that tournament. And, you kind of just build your way up. And, of course, that's what DerbyWars, I think, is fabulous for. It's a fabulous stepping stone, to bring in the new players and able to build their confidence no matter what their pocket range is.
Yeah, we're excited about being able to bring new players, even new players that are new to racing, kind of teach them and bring them along, and maybe an easier way to learn without losing so much. But contests just seem like it's a new way and a great way to engage with the sport. So, and Mark, you've been playing contests for so long. You mentioned the win. I mean, so what do you consider your biggest wins in contest play over the years?
Best overall win, I guess. I came in second at the Win and got $50,000.
Nice.
I've had, I think, Surfside, I won $25,000 for a win out there back when they used to have the $500 game there. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of small cashes along the way that just keep you going.
Yeah,
and of course, my sister was in the final 10 last year at the NHC. So
yeah, you had a couple things to do with that, and I know you've won $10,000 games, $5,000 games on DerbyWars. Tough competitor, always at the top of the leaderboard, and wish you the best of luck in the Final Four.
Well, I do hope it, and I'll take all the luck I can get.
All right, so good luck with your matchup with Ed Peters, Fantini 33. Mark McGuire, Maguru, head-to-head. So one man goes down, one man goes on. So we'll see it on Saturday. Good luck in the Final Four, and hopefully you can go all the way to become the head-to-head champion.
All right. Well, we look forward to meeting Ed, and I wish him good luck. But I'm going to wish myself a little good luck on top of that, and should be a good match. Look forward to it. Should be a lot of fun.
All right. We'll be dropping in the chat, see how you guys are doing, and best of luck, Mark.
All right. Thank you so much.